Now I would like to invite the next pair with Đặng Quang Việt Anh and Nguyễn Tiến Thành. Are you there and are you ready?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, please.
Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to my presentation today. My name is Đặng Quang Việt Anh and here is Nguyễn Tiến Thành. We make presentation about Vital Labs. So what is Vital Labs? In the most general terms, a Vital Laboratory is a computer-based activity where students interact with an experimental apparatus or other activity via a computer interface. Now, let's talk brief about why improving the quality of science education is so important. If you think about it, the world is growing incredibly fast, and with that growth comes a whole list of growing challenges such as dealing with global warming, solving starvation and water shortage, and curing disease. And who exactly is going to help us solve all of these great challenges? Well, it's the young student. This is the next generation of young, bright scientists, and in many ways, we rely on them for coming up with new innovation to help us solve all challenges ahead of us. However, many university students just like this, and just due to too many universities around the world, students are bored, disengaged, and sometimes not even sure why they are learning about topics. So we start looking around for new, innovative teaching methods, but what we found were quite disappointing. We saw that books were being turned into ebooks, blackboards were being turned into YouTube videos, and lecture halls were being turned into massive online open courses. And if you think about it, all we're really doing here is taking the same content and the same formats and bring it out to more students with risk, but the teaching methods are still more or less the same. No real innovation there. So we start looking elsewhere. What we found was that flight simulators has been proven over and over again to be far more effective when used in a combination with real in our flight training to train the pilots. And so we thought to ourselves, why not just apply that to science? Why not build a vital laboratory simulator? Well, we did this. We basically set out to create a simulated one-to-one virtual reality lab where the students could perform experiments with a mathematical equation that would simulate what would happen in the real lab. But not just simple simulation. We would also create advanced simulation with top university to bring our cutting-edge cancer research to their students. And suddenly, the universities could save millions of dollars by letting the students perform virtual experiments before they go into the real laboratories. And not only that, now they could also understand even on moleculars. Even on moleculars inside the machines. For instance, learning about bacteria, which is an important topic that many schools cannot teach for good safety reasons. And we, of course, quiz the student and then give the teacher a full dashboard so they can understand where the students are at. And so to investigate whether this really works, a learning psychologist did a study with 160 students that were from Stanford University and Technical University of Denmark. And what they did is split the students into two groups. One group would only use the Vital Labs, and the other group would only use traditional teaching methods. And then they had the same amount of time. Then, interestingly, they gave the student a test before and after the experiment, so they could clearly measure the learning impact of the student. And they found were high 76% increase in the learning effectiveness when using Vital Labs over traditional teaching methods. But even more interestingly, the second part of this study investigates what the teachers' impact were on the learning. And what they found was that when you combine the Vital laboratories with teacher-led coaching and mentoring, then we saw a total 101% increase in the learning effectiveness, which effectively double the science teacher impact with the same amount of the time spent. Is the
Thank you, Ryan. I will share my screen so you can turn up second content. I will see my screen. I think virtual lab is very convenient, but everyone have a question: how to run a virtual lab? And today I'm really excited to be presenting what we came up with and have been working incredibly hard to create. I will explain briefly what this is. Basically, I take my phone. Most students already have their smartphone, and I plug it into this virtual reality headset, allow code headset. But because COVID-19, I can buy it. Then you need to visit some website that provide such as Lobster Villas. The website provide thousands of lab and equipment for college and university program. And now you can get to try it at home because it's really something you can try to do for me. Feel how immersive it really is. It's literally feel like I just step inside this virtual technology. I am sorry I don't have a tune to send you the experience, but maybe it is easy to immerse when you watching this video. So when I have a turn my mobile phone into million dollar, I will language library with own amazing equipment that I can interact with it. I can, for instance, pick it with buyers and do it with it. I have my anger and my blister and there have my next generation machine that even have electronic microscopes. I mean, we're carrying around one electric in my bucket. And here I have my machine I can do different experiment on machine. And over here, I have a door. I can go into our experiment. I can perform in the laboratory, and here, I have my learning tablets. This is an intelligent tablet that allow me to read about brain theory. As you can see, I can reason with and I can watching video and see content what's the relevant to experiment what I performing right now. Then over here, I have Mary. What's the beautiful girl? And she is my lab assistant. And what she does is guide me through this world laboratory. And I think very soon the teacher will be able to literally teleport themselves into the right world. That I write now and help me and give me through this world experiment. And now before I finalize it, I want to show you an even core thing. I think something you cannot even in ruin level. That is a PCR machine. I now going to start this experiment, and I just do it like run myself in million time into side in the molecule, and it's really film like it. If I will try it, I can be sure that not single laboratory in the world have a this machine. And so now, if in like I standing inside the machine, and I am seeing all the DNA, and I see the molecule, I see polymer and the enzyme has so far. I can see how its DNA being what up million of time. Just like it's happening inside the body right now, and I can in the feel that understand how old it work. Now, I hope that give a little bit standard the possibility in the new teaching methods, and I want so embrace that everything you can show or work on iPad, laptop without headset. I say the very important reason. In order for us to really embrace and inspire the next generation of scientists, we really need teachers to rival adoption of new technology in the classroom. And so in many ways, I believe that's the big question leave science education lie no longer with the technology, but rather when teacher decides to push forward and adopt the technology inside the classroom. And so it's the hope that more university and school and teacher will collaborate with technology company to rise this full potential. Now, if you can, if we could bring Ivy Learners $1 million virtual laboratory out to all the students all over the world and give them the latest, greatest, most fancy machine you can imagine. That was quite literally makes the study here jump up and down out the burst excitement. And then even how that would empower and inspire a new generation of young and bright scientists ready to innovate and change the world. And Binar's own link and website we visit to make this presentation. If you have any question after presentation, you can contact us via Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. And the contact address I have written on this slide. Now, it's time for Q&A. Do you have any question for our presentation? Do you have any question?
Okay. So invite Phi Viết Hoàng.
I want to ask you a question that should visual labs be applied in schools that already have enough labs and tools?
I will answer this question. Thank you, Hoàng. This is a good question. I think this technology has been around for a long time. However, it's up to large scale before being applied for children. Scientific learning is done in a well-equipped laboratory because many stranger situations can be discovered during practice, and the users virtual lab should only apply in case lack of equipment and no real experience. Users obviously wishful lab shouldn't use virtual lab. Answer Phi Viết Hoàng. Do you have any question?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So invite Bùi Hoàng Hà.
Okay. So Vietnam is a developing country and the explosion of technology equipment is happening, but the equipment to support scientific research is getting old. So I have a question for you. Is there a really good opportunity for visual adoption lab in Vietnam?
Okay, thank you for good questions. Like the answer says above, accessing virtual labs is very easy. You only need a smartphone, which everyone has, and a virtual reality headset. You can join virtual labs by visiting some website like labster.com, virtuallabs.com. Therefore, the application of this technology in Vietnam is very easy. Moreover, because of the impact of the epidemic, distance learning is inevitable. Virtual lab will be always learning methods for both students and teachers. Moreover, virtual lab can be help the doctor can find the vaccine for COVID virus. Are you okay?
Okay. Thank you for your answer.
Okay, if have no questions, we end the presentations. So thank you for your listening.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So thank you very much, Việt Anh and Tiến Thành, for the presentation. So this is this topic is quite similar to the previous one, which is with the application of virtual reality. I really enjoy this topic actually. So as I said, I would like to apply the virtual reality in my course. So I think I remember your guys' name also. So if I decide to apply the VR into my TWP course, and I will ask for the help. Is that okay? So I think I remember Tấn Tiến, Văn Thành, Việt Anh, and Tiến Thành. Okay, so if I decide to apply the virtual reality in my TWP course, and then I will ask for the help. Is that okay?
Yes, okay.
All right, thank you very much. And now it's 1 minute for the examiners to work.